Empire Mine. After 3 hours and 61 miles, we arrive at the source of the Northwestern's ore. This mine is managed by the Cleveland Cliffs Iron Company. It started production in 1964 and is the first mine to successfully produce high-grade pellets from the Upper Peninsula's low-grade taconite. We'll set out our train above the ore loader and then run around the loader to pick up our loads. After coupling onto our first cut of loaded cars, our crew will walk back to the 6706, which will be our lead unit from this point on. While we're setting out our empties, the LS&I gets into the act as a loaded train passes by on its way from Tilden Mine to Eagle Mills. The Northwestern typically takes 3 hours to set out an empty train and pick up a loaded train. Due to the grades in the mine, each loaded train is pulled out in 2 cuts of 55 cars each. Both cuts must be air tested with a walking inspection. We asked our engineer what he likes about his Alcos.
The way they're built and they're designed and the comfort in them. They're a good riding unit.
Did you ever work on the Fairbanks Morse engines?
Just switching it. Oh, this was a world of difference when these came in.
Are they good pullers?
Yeah, the best I've seen up here so far.
How about the dynamic brakes?
They're do a wonderful job.
What don't you like about these engines?
I can't recall anything that I don't really like about them.
While we go about our work, mine personnel are busy loading the empties we brought in. This procedure requires no locomotives, since the empties are set out on an incline above the loader. The loader crew attaches a long air hose to the empty train and charges the train line. When the brakes release, the cars start rolling towards the loader. The loader crew releases and applies the brakes the same way an engineer would to stop the cars under the loader. However, if a car overshoots the loader, there's no way to bring it back. Because of this, we will have 109 loads and 1 empty back to Escanaba.
Operator.
Ready to make our first move here for mine.
Okay to come out, your choice.
Put them on the bucket.
Okay to come out, our choice, Raj. Okay, here.
Figure on the Tilden then, Ron.
Tilton, Raj.
The LS&I control operator has authorized us to leave our first cut on the Tilden line. After we pull out with our second cut, our crew will carefully double the train together. train crews working in ore service are all too familiar with the bad actor, or kicker as it's sometimes called. That one car in the train with the habit of putting the whole train into emergency during a normal brake application.
At times you got certain days that you have a problem every time you set the air. Like yesterday, every time I touched the automatic, it went in emergency. Yeah, I must have stopped at least 3 or 4 times when I used the air. Went in emergency.
Is that very common?
No, like today now, I've been using the air up coming in quite a few times and nothing happened. Yeah. And then sometimes the dynamic seems to change it too.
6706, Raj, okay to release him.
Yeah. Almost ready.
As we pulled out our second cut, we asked Roger how he feels about running with Freds instead of cabooses.
I just soon have the caboose. Oh yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I think it's safer in the long run, which we almost proved that yesterday. If we would have been working in at night or in a rainstorm or fog, we had a bad odor car we set out at Brampton, and it was, I don't think it would have made Escanaba if we went to spotted it on a clear day, because that journal was just about, would have never made Escanaba.
Good wherever you stop. Okay, back, Raj. 4 crowds.
Coming back 4.
The slack action and sheer weight of loaded ore cars makes train handling very tricky. It takes experienced hands to avoid breaking the train in two.
3 cars, Roger.
Right out.
Cars.
2 more.
One car, Rod.
1 to go.
That's good, Rod.
At 2 p.m., we're ready to depart Empire Mine for the return trip as Extra 6706 East. Our train has 109 loads, 1 empty, for 9,832 tons.
I knew it. Yeah. My red hat.